Dad, how much longer? Almost there, buddy. Isn't that what you said an hour ago? Lisa, you too? I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. White. Timothy won't be able to walk again. Walter, Lisa, and their son Timothy lived in a small town of Oakland Groves. Lisa was a school teacher, and Walter owned a small shop in the city. They were a hard-working couple, and all they wanted was to give Timothy a happy life. But everything changed after the accident. Walter, I can't leave Timothy home alone anymore. I'm stressed about him. After a few months of trying to sort things out, Lisa chose to quit her job to take care of Timothy. But that meant Walter had to work overtime. Mom, when is Dad going to be home? We were supposed to go to the park today. Sweetheart, Dad's a little busy with work. Maybe on the weekends, okay? But that's what you said last weekend. Timothy rarely got to spend time with his father, but his mother was always by his side. Whenever he dropped something, she would be there to pick it up for him. Whenever he couldn't reach something, she would be there to bring it to him. Whenever he had trouble getting out of bed, she would be there to help him into his wheelchair. And once in a while, even Walter managed to spend quality father-son time with Timothy. They never let Timothy feel as if he was missing something in his life. 3 years after the accident, Walter and Lisa saved up enough to get Timothy a prosthetic leg. It was after a few training sessions with a therapist, Timothy started walking like any other person. As a matter of fact, no one even realized he didn't have a leg. It was like a new beginning to life all over again. After a long time staying at home, either laying or sitting down, Timothy was out and about, going anywhere he liked. Lisa was still worried for Timothy. But as Timothy reached his teens, she realized she needed to let him be on his own. One of these days, coming home from school, passing by the corner store, Timothy saw a cardboard box labeled "Puppies for Sale." When he looked inside, there was one puppy he couldn't get his eyes off of. Timothy picked it up and took it inside. "How much are you selling these puppies for, Mr. Allen?" "Timothy, how have you been?" "I'm selling them for quite the price, but for you, it's free." "Thanks, Mr. Allen, but I'd like to pay for him." "It's all right, Timothy. Take it as a gift from me. My dog gave birth to one too many. I can't have them all in the house." Mr. Allen peered over the counter and looked at the puppy in Timothy's arm. "Oh, don't take that one. You won't be able to play with him. He can't move around properly." Mr. Allen walked out from behind the counter and held one of its hind legs. It was born with a bad leg. Timothy smiled and cuddled the little puppy. "That's all right. We'll get along fine." Mr. Allen had a Siberian Husky. It gave birth to 6 puppies. When Timothy brought it home, however, his mother wasn't so delighted to see a pet in the house. But Timothy managed to convince her. "Your name will be Odie." And Odie wasn't like any other dog. Timothy was able to train him pretty quick. He never made any messes around the house. He followed Timothy wherever he went and slept in his room. Timothy loved having Odie around, and it looked like Odie liked his company as well. But once Odie grew bigger, Lisa had the dog moved outside to the backyard. The backyard extended out into the woods. But Timothy didn't worry about Odie running away. They shared a special bond. This house was home for Odie. During this time, however, something strange began to happen in the neighborhood. Some people began putting up posters of lost dogs out on the street poles. Seeing one of the posters, Timothy hurried back home to check on Odie. Odie? Odie? Odie, what were you doing in the woods? Timothy didn't want to lose Odie. He was starting to get a little worried with what was happening. But things started to get stranger when people started complaining to the police about getting attacked by something out in the woods at night. Authorities recommend residents to stay out of the woods once dark, especially little children. It was one chilly morning. Timothy decided to bring Odie in for a couple days, till the situation got better. But when he went out to check on him, he found the doghouse empty. Timothy searched around the backyard. He wasn't there. "Mom, did you see Odie?" "No, sweetheart." Timothy walked around the curb and asked the neighbors if they saw a Siberian Husky roaming around. But no one reported seeing anything. Not that night, not for days. Weeks passed. Timothy searched everywhere, but with no luck. Timothy was having a hard time accepting Odie would run away or get lost. Something must have happened. But about 2 days later, late at night, Timothy heard some noise from the back porch. He was shocked to see Odie sitting outside. "Odie, where did you go? I missed you so much. I thought I lost you like everyone else." Timothy rushed down and hugged Odie after spending some time with him that night. He brought Odie food and water, but Odie refused to eat anything. "What's wrong, boy? Weren't you hungry?" Timothy couldn't understand what was bothering him. He decided to let him be and went back inside. "Timothy, what are you doing up at this time?" "Mom, Odie came back." What? Wow, that's strange. The neighbors still haven't found their dog. I guess the other dogs will come back too. Anyways, it's late. Get to bed. The next day, one of Walter's friends dropped by for a visit. Mr. Cooper was out hiking the other day with his family. They set up a tent and wanted to camp out, but they ended up coming home early when Mrs. Cooper got injured. She said something got into the tent and attacked her. I didn't believe them at first, but when I went to check up on her, she showed me her wounded arm. It was as if half of it was missing. That's strange. I heard the dogs are going missing too. Do you really think there's something wild lurking out there? Wild animals. Timothy started to wonder if keeping Odie out in the backyard would attract anything, if there was anything lurking in the woods. When things started to go haywire in the neighborhood, with so many people encountering this unknown creature in the woods, the police finally went on an investigation. It was published in the newspaper that many of the bodies of the missing dogs were found in the woods. They had been taken down by wild animals. Timothy went out to the backyard that evening to give Odie his food. He had gone out searching all the pet stores in town to find something Odie might like. Odie, boy, where are you? Come out. I've got dinner ready. Come on, fella. Come out. There wasn't a single noise in the shed. Timothy peered through the small door and saw Odie wasn't in the doghouse. He walked around the backyard and noticed the wet trail of blood leading into the woods. Timothy became nervous, thinking what he feared had come true. Suddenly, at the edge of the woods, among the tall trees, Timothy saw a dog limp out of the darkness. Its grayish-blue eyes glared at him. Noticing the grayish-white fur blow in the breeze, Timothy realized it was none other than Odie. At first, he was relieved. But then, he saw something that terrified him to the bone. Odie stood up on his hind legs, like a man. He glared at Timothy as he walked back into the darkness of the woods. He didn't limp or stumble. Timothy never saw Odie after that day. But people have still been talking about something lurking in the woods. Timothy doesn't know what happened with Odie, but he's sure Odie isn't like what he used to be. He's not the little puppy Timothy had bought. Or maybe he's not a dog at all.
If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.